Welcome to the Smokers Lounge with Big Mike in the house tonight. Light it up, spark it loud. We're breaking rules and owning the crowd. So grab a seat, lean back, it's time to ignite. This is No The Smoke Meets the Mic.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Smoking Lounge. I'm your host, Big Mike. And in the first episode, the pilot episode, if you will, we discussed why we were starting the podcast, what our plans for the podcast was, and the future of the podcast moving forward, how we were going to incorporate that with our Twitch stream. In today's podcast, I'm going to give you a little bit of my background, get to know the podcaster, if you will. And these are a lot of the questions I'm going to ask when I talk to other streamers, other people I play games with, moving forward as the episodes roll along. So this is my formal introduction to who I am for you. And I wrote down some notes here, so I'm just going to ask the questions to myself and we're going to go from there. And so it's not such a stagnant, boring image. I'm going to have in the background of my stream or this podcast, my one of my last YouTube videos just to be running in the background. So thanks for being here. I appreciate it. And I hope you enjoy getting to know a little bit more about me. Okay. In the background here is just my last YouTube video that we did. It was a pretty good one with me and my friend Steamy and Jenga. The Battle of Pitching. If you haven't seen that, please go check it out. So, a little bit about myself. I'm 45 years old. I'm a gamer in my part-time. I do have a full-time job that I'm currently off of right now due to some medical situations. Getting those resolved. I'll probably be off work till spring, by the way things sound, but once I get the medical straightened out, I'll be back full force into working. So my stream schedule will change a little bit, but shouldn't affect anything to do with what I'm doing with the podcast. A little bit about my gaming background. So like I said, I'm 45 years old, and the earliest memories I can think of me playing games, video games, would be the Atari. I know that sounds crazy to some. They might have only heard about that on YouTube, but yes, I had an Atari. I played Pac-Man and Donkey Kong on Atari. I do remember those games. I was very young. I was about 5 years old. So you're looking at about 40 years ago when I had that technology. And in 1988, I think it was, I got a Nintendo. Just a basic NES Nintendo system. Got it for my birthday. It's 88 or 89. I can't remember exactly now. But I remember having Super Mario Brothers and Dunk Hunt. And then I had a bunch of different sports games. Roger Clemens baseball. I remember that one. MVP baseball. Something to that effect. A lot of memories on that Nintendo Entertainment System. Now, my friends all progressed over the years. They got the Super Nintendos and what have you. I made the next jump from Nintendo to a Sega Genesis. Okay. So I don't know if a lot of y'all remember the Sega Genesis, but I had one. I had Sonic the Hedgehog, NBA Jam, just to remember a few games I had on there. I remember me and my brother, he would go back and forth on who had the highest score on NBA Jam. It was pretty fun. Then we moved on to the PlayStation 1. And I think that's the first to see. I was getting a little older then. I was about 16. So I really didn't dabble in the PlayStation 1 near as much as my brother did. But we had Madden, of course, baseball games, football games, basketball games, a lot of sports games. But we still had some oh, can't think of it now. Street Fighter. We had Street Fighter. I'm wanting to think we had the Rayon. I think it was Street Fighter 1 or 2. Driver, a big was a driving game that we had back then. Some war games, a lot of different games. And then I was getting to the point that at that point when that was going on, I was getting to the point where I was getting ready to move out of my house. I moved in with some buddies. We had PlayStation 2, I think it was. Yeah, PlayStation 2. Didn't play it a whole lot, just to be honest, because I was in the transition phase between moving out of mom and dad's house, meeting my wife, having babies, and things like that. We're talking about my late teens, early 20s. And then moved on to my first console I owned as an adult, PlayStation 3. I had PlayStation 3 for a long time. Played GTA 4, GTA 5 when it first come out. A lot of sports games, MLB, Madden. Just the same repetitive stuff. It sounds like I play a lot of sports games. Used to back in the day. But I did play some more games, some COD, when the COD was very, very, it was a story-based game. There wasn't no COD online of that nature. And it might not even been called COD at that point. It might have been called something else. That kind of progressed into the PlayStation 4. I bought one of those in, I'm going to say 2010, 2011, right around when they come out. My daughter was growing up. She was playing games. She was into Fortnite and Minecraft, and we played a little bit of COD together. But she ended up taking over the PlayStation 4 after a while, and we ended up getting her a PlayStation 5 when they come out. But in 2019, late 2019, I got my first computer that I could play games on. There was computers in the past. I played golf games and things like that, the boxy games that you see to make, done all that. But an actual gaming PC I bought in late 2019 had a 1050 Super in it, I think, or 1060 Super in it. Very primitive to these day and age. And then I thought, and then that'll bring me up to the next question. Why did I start streaming? Well, I was starting to meet people online, and some of them were streamers, and I was starting to play games with them on their stream. And a lot of people were commenting to me, and why don't you stream? You have you're funny, you have the right attitude, you have the charisma. Why don't you stream? And I was like, well, I just don't know. Internet bandwidth, for one, was really bad in the beginning, and I just didn't know if I could have the mental capacity and wherewithal to pull off all the things you have to do for a stream. I just didn't know if I wanted to take on all that challenge. So I decided to wait, and then I got to talking to a few of my friends that do stream. Well, they don't stream anymore, but Jill, Jellybean Jill, she was one of the major inspirators for me to start streaming. She said, just do it, dude. And once I got everything set up, that's what I did. I just hit the button. Didn't know where it was going. Just hit the button. And you'll hear a lot of people say that. They just hit the button and it does what it does. But that cannot be more of the truth for me. I just hit the button. And that's when I started. And why I started was because after talking to people and understanding, I'm going to be playing these games anyway. And a lot of times I'm playing with other streamers anyway. So I'm out there in the Twitchverse, whether I wanted to be or not. So why not go on and show my perspective and show my struggles with these video games or my triumphs with these video games, and let other people hang out with me and tell me, what they think of the games and what they think of, hey, just the camaraderie, the community that you can build, the friends you can make by streaming. So that's basically the why and the win of when I started streaming. It was 2020-ish, I think, and I made affiliate because I didn't stream consistently. I streamed on and off for about a year, just because I would get frustrated and I would be like, well, nobody's watching. I'm streaming to no viewers, and went through all those typical streamer setbacks, the frustrations and all that comes with it. I went through all that just like everybody else does, and still go through it sometime today. Sometimes still today I'll go through it. I'll be looking, and everybody says don't pay attention to your views, but I always do. And I'll look down and say, well, I've only got 3 people viewing me. This sucks. What am I even doing? But you got to keep a positive outlook and a positive mind, because it can turn around at the drop of a hat. The next time you get 2 or 3 raids, the next thing you know, you got 50 people in here, and everybody's chatting and keeping the chat going. And that's when streaming really is awesome and feels good and feels like I'm doing the right thing. But I'm not going to give up when the numbers aren't where I want them to be. And then you should never give up. Never give up. Always pursue your dreams, whether it's if you're doing it for yourself or and nobody's seeing it, it doesn't matter. You're still being positive and productive and doing something that entertains and interests you. So that got on to the part of my next question was, how long have I been streaming? What games have I streamed? Okay, that's a really good question too, because I started making YouTube content actually before I started streaming, because I figured YouTube content would be easier to make. I could edit it whenever I wanted to and just put it out there, I'd make YouTube content, post it, it'd get some views, or it wouldn't get some views, didn't get any followers. It was a really slow process. And I said, you know what? It might be easier just to stream and people show up. And then if I have a good match or good gameplay, I can always edit it down later. And that's essentially what I did on that aspect of it. But games that I played on stream, Dead by Daylight was one of the first games I streamed. Streamed some In Silence back in the day when In Silence was a very popular game to play. It was another cat and mouse type game. What else? Some DayZ later on. Then I got streaming Hunt Showdown exclusively about 2.5, 3 years ago. What even got me into Hunt Showdown? That's another great question that I'll ask some of the streamer friends that I have. There was a friend of mine that said, hey, we played Dead by Daylight together. He goes, I got another game I'm going to play. You want to play with me? I was like, what is it? How much is it? Blah, blah, blah. I think someone gifted me the game, and I played it with them, and wasn't hooked initially. I was like, I don't know, man. I'm so nervous and so anxious about this. I don't know if I can do this or not. I got my first kill was in First Testimonial Church. I remember it. Shotgun a guy on the steps. And after that I was kind of like, oh, this could be fun. This could be fun, because shooters weren't really my thing. They really weren't. More role playing games and campaign type games. You play the campaign, and that was what I was into at the time. Definitely not first person shooters. Now I wouldn't play a game that's not a first person shooter if it's a shooter game. Played the first 500 hours of Hunt Showdown. I was so backwards and timid, and my KDA was like 0.3. I was afraid to fight. I didn't want to lose, and I wasn't any good, and I was so stressed out about fighting that I was going to lose, and I just didn't play a lot. And finally, it just clicked, let's just have fun with it. And that's when everything started to turn around, and I got better with my aiming. I got better at the game in general. I'm not saying I'm good at the game now, but I'm better than I was 3 years ago for sure. 4,500 hours in the game now, you're bound to get some skill set. How has streaming changed since I started till now? That would be a good question I would ask somebody too. And all these questions would be different to certain streamers or whatever. Some is, if they don't stream, I wouldn't even talk about the streaming. But that's what part of the podcast is going to be to me. But this would be, how has my stream in general has changed. Went from my stream when I first started was me just turning the camera on, hitting play. I didn't have very good audio. You could see everything in my room behind me. It was all trashy looking. It just looked like a very unprofessional throw together stream. And now it's a little bit better in the fact that I'm using OBS Studio. My camera could be better. My mic's pretty good. The audio has gotten tremendously better from now since day one. You can't see my background anymore, although I don't like the green screen effect. Sometimes it does stupid shit like it's doing right there. But it's all work in progress, and at some point I'm going to get there. I just don't know when. But as far as the quality of my stream, it has improved tremendously from day one till now. My alerts are where I want them. My emotes are where I like them. Everything is coming along, and it looks more of a professional type stream, even though it's not there yet. It's looking more like that. People comment me all the time on my stream looks good. My audio is great. W stream, I'll get that a lot in chat. That's how my stream has come along from where I started till now. And then the last question I would ask myself and other streamers would be, what are my plans for the future? What are my plans for the future with my stream? What are the plans for the future with gaming in general for me? And to be honest, I just want to keep improving the stream on a day-to-day basis, making it better, making it more appealing to the viewers, making the content better, be more engaging, try to improve upon my analytics from where they are now, just keep going in a positive direction. Don't want to slip back. And that's another one of the reasons this podcast that I'm trying to create, I think will go hand in hand with my stream. And then we can grow them both together. Upgrades will come eventually as the stream gets more notoriety and popularity. Right now, as far as my system goes, I'm happy with where I'm at with my system. There's really no need in upgrading anything right now. I would like to get a better camera just for the quality of the image that you see, because I am a fleshy, as they say, which is a face cam tuber and not a virtual tuber, a VTuber. I like the fact that people can see my reactions to things. I like the fact that people can see my face and know exactly my response or reactions to events as they happen. I feel like it makes my stream more personable and more appealing, where as some of the VTubers, they have great sense of humor, great personality, but you don't really know. You can't make that connection because you don't see them. And, some people are not comfortable being on camera, and that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Personally, I don't mind being on camera. I'm really comfortable with it. So it comes kind of natural to me. And also speaking and doing this kind of stuff comes natural to me as well because of my radio background and my podcast background in the past. All this comes really natural. I'm naturally a humorous guy. I like to laugh. I like to make people laugh. And that will also reflect in my stream with my sarcasm and my humor. And that's kind of how the future looks for me. I'm going to keep being funny, keep being the Mike you all have come to know and hopefully enjoy being around. And we're going to try to take this to the next step. What is the next step? You might say, well, there's always a chance for being a partner in Twitch. Don't know if that's in my future or not, but it is a goal. I got a long ways to go before I attain that goal, but it's a goal of mine. And, yeah, that's pretty much my main goal is to make Twitch partners sometime. If I can make this a living, like thousands and thousands of other people want to do, that would be fantastic. I'm not going to quit my day job anytime soon, but it still would be cool to be able to say I'm doing what I love for a living. But yeah, that's pretty much get to know me, get to know Big Mike, the streamer, the podcaster, the YouTuber. That has that says a lot about who I am, or trying to explain to you why I do what I do and the fun I'm having doing it. Met a lot of great people doing this. Really have a lot of great people, and hopefully you're going to get to meet a lot of those great people also as I incorporate them in the stream. I can go back. Several of my friends on my friends list have been there for years. and I wouldn't have it any other way. There's some great people on there. But as far as that goes, that's a little bit about me. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one. All right. I hope you enjoyed getting to know me a little better. I hope that this makes the process and the understanding of what I'm doing, why I'm doing what I'm doing, a little less confusing, if it was confusing at all. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. As of today, the date is Friday the 21st. I'm recording these in bunches so I can post them out a week at a time. There is I am going to be out of commission for about a week and a half because I just found out I'm going to have total knee replacement surgery. So that's why I'm making this one now. It'll come out on Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. So the 26th, I guess. Yeah, the 26th of November. This will come out, and hopefully I've got one ready for the next week. If not, there may be a week delay in the podcast, but stick with me, guys. I'm still learning as I go. I'm doing the best I can here. Hopefully it's enjoyable and you appreciate the effort. I do have my email now attached. I'll have it in the description. I'll have it posted on here, and I'll have my Twitch link posted on here as well. Everyone have a good rest of your day, and we'll catch you in the next one.